Were they duped by Netanyahu into thinking he and the Israeli government really wanted to negotiate a ceasefire and exchange of hostages? Or were they part of Netanyahu's duping the public into believing that the Israelis are serious in wanting to negotiate?
Three comments. First, the reason Bill Burns has been doing diplomatic work is because Blinken has not been. And that is the strongest reproach on Blinken that you could imagine. That when there was serious diplomacy to be done, he was pushed aside, and an old diplomat who now heads the CIA was brought in. Second, American foreign policy has become an instrument of Israeli foreign policy. American defense policy has become an instrument of Israeli military policy. So third, unfortunately, after the end of the Cold War, Americans got the idea that foreign affairs, foreign relations were somehow a discretionary pursuit that you could either undertake or not, and that therefore we could afford to apply the same system to foreign affairs that we apply to domestic affairs. So if you look at, for example, the Bureau of Handicapped Affairs in the government, it is always headed by a handicapped person, and the handicapped make the policies. Well, maybe that's a good way of doing that. But in foreign affairs, the Black Caucus got Haiti because people in Haiti are Black and for no other reason. The Save the Whales crowd got Norway and sometimes Japan. Multiple franchises were given to different groups on China, religious freedom, protectionist economic interests, and so forth. And in the Middle East, virtually everybody in authority is a Zionist, many of them Jewish, some not, committed Zionists, meaning that they listen to the government of Israel and they take direction from it. And so if you have somebody going to Lebanon, supposedly to mediate between Israel and Lebanon, who doesn't, by the way, talk to Hezbollah, which is the real issue there, because we don't talk to the people who really are essential to buy into solutions. And that person is a dual national. You really have to wonder which side he's speaking for and how much credibility the Lebanese give him. I mean, at a minimum, that is a pretty cynical approach. So this is not a problem limited to the Middle East, but it is one that is most acute in the Middle East, and it may have something to do with the utter fecklessness of American policy in recent years. There's no peace process. There has not been a peace process since the turn of the century, and that was botched by some of the same people who claim influence now.